Look, right now, there's a storm of confusion out there. Everyone's yelling about markets, currencies, inflation, geopolitical chaos, and you're trying desperately not to get burned. You're sick of the same old advice. Just stick to your country's currency. Be safe. Hold steady. That's textbook nonsense in a world that's breaking boundaries every second. If you're watching this, it means you already know the pain of losing ground, seeing your capital slip away while others ride waves you can't even feel yet. It's frustrating, infuriating, and honestly, it's the quiet crisis you're not supposed to admit. You're drowning in uncertainty, but no one tells you how to swim smart. Here's the brutal truth. Depending on your home currency alone right now is a trap. It's a slow bleed, a trap disguised as stability. Central banks printing like maniacs, political storms tossing your investments like a leaf in the wind, and endless shocks coming from everywhere you least expect. And if your portfolio isn't wired to move with that chaos, you're sitting ducks. So if you want to stop the frustration, if you want to actually protect what you've built, you have to diversify. Not just in assets, but into currencies that others ignore or outright fear. That's where the real opportunity hides. But don't get this wrong. This isn't about chasing fads or jumping into exotic currencies blindly. That's gambling. You want strategy, precision, and a cold read on where the world's money flows next. First, lock your eyes on currencies backed by economies that are quietly accelerating toward tech, energy independence, or rising political stability while the rest of the world freaks out. Think beyond the dollar or euro. Look at places that are untapped, yet stepping up. Currencies the market hasn't priced in full risk or full potential on. You dig into data no one willingly shares on mainstream channels, trade balances, foreign reserve changes, big central bank moves tucked in dry official reports. And here's the kicker. Timing is everything. The best moments to move into foreign currencies aren't during the headlines screaming crisis. They're in the silent build-ups, the gaps when nobody's looking, because fear paralyzes the herd. If you have a plan to sniff out these hidden inflection points, you get ahead of the crowd and lock in value before panic spreads. The market doesn't work in your favor if you wait for consensus. It's a trap. You move fast or you roll the dice blind. On top of that, stop thinking about currencies as isolated bets. This has to be about constructing an ecosystem of liquidity and protection around your entire portfolio. You layer in currencies that hedge risk from each other, some that behave like safe havens, others that serve as growth levers depending on geopolitical or economic shifts. You stay nimble, you reallocate actively. You track correlation like your next paycheck depends on it, because it does. And don't fall for the idea that this is complicated or only for institutional giants. The tools are here, and understanding isn't reserved for insiders anymore. You can use automated data trackers, real-time currency flows, and macroeconomic indicators to stay sharp. Your edge is in your discipline and refusal to settle for shallow advice or set and forget portfolios. You build systems that don't just survive shocks. They use volatility as fuel. So, stop waiting for some perfect moment. That moment is now. Apply relentless focus. Scan the charts, read the signals, buy in where fundamentals scream undervalued and sentiment is stuck in fear. Cut exposure to the sinking ships dragging your whole portfolio down. Build a currency portfolio that isn't chained to outdated assumptions or illusions of safety. If you're serious about growth, about protecting your assets from the madness everyone else just accepts as normal, then diversify into foreign currencies like your life depends on it, because in global investing today it does. Real freedom isn't sticking to one identity or one currency. It's knowing where the next opportunity comes, who's got upside hidden behind headlines, and having the guts to act before the world admits it's time. No one else is going to hand you this roadmap. You have to carve it out for yourself and move hard. Just one step ignored could cost you everything. But rig this right, and you don't just survive inflation and crisis. You come out stronger, smarter, ahead of 99% of the market, owning the future others are too scared to even guess at. That's the real play. Now get to work. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit the featured link to discover more.